1020 KDKA.
It's 69, partly sunny skies at 10 o'clock. I'm Paul Rasmussen. New this hour, a Penn Hills man accused of ramming the entrance gates of the FBI's Pittsburgh field office is now in custody. That breaking news just moments ago from KDKA's Marty Griffin. This man, Donald Henson, allegedly drove a white sedan into the gates around 2:40 a.m. Earlier, Agent Christopher Giordano told KDKA-TV Henson threw an American flag over the gate after the collision.
We consider this an act of terror because it was directly against the FBI. He has come here in the past.
Henson left the area on foot and was later arrested by University of Pittsburgh officers. He's believed to have a history of mental health issues. The man wanted for trying to injure or kill a man in July is now in custody. Trooper Clifford Greenfield told KDKA-TV James Seaver was arrested last night on an Indiana County trail near Homer City.
An off-duty trooper was in the community and reported a sighting to us, possible sighting of Mr. Seaver.
Seaver, on the run for nearly 2 months, is accused of putting a pipe bomb under his former landlord's lawnmower at a home in Salem Township, Westmoreland County. It exploded when the man started the mower, but he was not injured. Charges include attempted homicide. Pittsburgh City Council will vote today on a proposal for an $86 million public safety training center. News Radio KDKA's Tamira Rush has more.
A 100-acre site in Pittsburgh's Lincoln-Leamington-Belmore neighborhood has been chosen for a new multi-use training center for EMS, fire, police, and public works. The goal is to merge public safety functions that are scattered throughout the city and consolidate them into one center. But the plan is stirring controversy, where some residents worry it could become a hub for police militarization, with critics calling it Cop City. The plan has to be completed by next June, or the city could be forced to return the property or purchase it at market rate. A preliminary vote is scheduled for later this morning, and a final vote will take place next week. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
Some Beaver County residents have recently been bilked out of over $300,000. As News Radio KDKA's Paul Alexander reports, police are trying to prevent more people from becoming victims.
Aliquippa Police wrote on Facebook that this is a scam. Do not engage in any persons who call you on the phone and give you any type of story. Scammers have been pretending to be with law enforcement or the victim's financial institution and say that someone is trying to steal their money out of their account and they should make a large withdrawal. A police officer will then meet you and take the money as evidence. Some even converted their money into Bitcoin to protect their assets. Please say if you get a call like this, call your local police department or go see them in person. Paul Alexander, News Radio, KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is up 285 points at 46,043. The Nasdaq is down 68 points, and the S&P is down about 1. KDKA Sports Cubs Pirates today on KDKA Radio. Johan Oviedo starts for the Bucks. Our coverage will begin at 11:40. The news is brought to you by PJ Fitzpatrick. Need a new roof or just want to repair a small leak? Trust PJ.com. KDKA Radio News Time, 10:03. It's 69, partly cloudy in Pittsburgh. Now AAA traffic and AccuWeather next.
With the kids back in school, now's the perfect time to refresh your home before the holidays. Larry Richard for Lachina Drapery and Blind Factory, your local experts in custom drapery, blinds, shades, shutters, and motorized window treatments. Get your home holiday ready with Lachina's free shop-at-home service and expert design advice. Visit Lachina's Dormont and Wexford showrooms or online at lachinadrapery.com. Call Lachina today, 412-665-4900. Lachina Drapery, where style meets family tradition. The original Yinzer Dogs are here for your next tailgate. Yinzer Dogs, Stanley P. Kachowski Kobasi, Babushka Mama Pierogies, and Yinzer Halushki are all available at your favorite Giant Eagle and Market District. Plus, stay tuned for our grand opening of our new original Yinzer Dogs location in Cranberry. And pretty soon, down the Strip District. It's pure Pittsburgh. Join Dan Marino, Jimmy Crenn, and me, and our Yinzer team. Check us out at OriginalYinzerDogs.com.
This year's senior class is back at homecoming, reunited and protected with mNEXSpike, the new COVID-19 vaccine from Moderna for adults 65 and older. That's because these seniors know they face the highest risk of severe COVID. mNEXSpike, COVID-19 vaccine mRNA, is a COVID-19 vaccine for people 65 and older and for 12 to 64-year-olds at high risk for severe COVID. You shouldn't get mNEXSpike if you've had an allergic reaction to a previous Moderna COVID-19 COVID-19 vaccine. Rare cases of inflammation of the heart muscle and outer lining have been reported. Common side effects include pain at the injection site, tiredness, headache, muscle or joint pain, chills, nausea, vomiting, and underarm swelling or soreness. mNEXSpike may not protect everyone. This year's senior class came ready with a COVID-19 vaccine that helps them keep showing up. mNEXSpike from Moderna, here for the senior class. Visit mnexspike.com to schedule your vaccine today. That's mnexspike.com.
From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. My friend Ellen Gamble, what's up?
Okay, Marty, what's up is a lot of accidents out there at this hour. One in Shadyside on 5th Avenue at Moorwood Avenue. Crews just rolling up on the scene and more headed to Sawmill Run Boulevard, Route 51 at the intersection with Crane Avenue. We have an accident there. In Uptown, accident still being cleared from Colwell at Vine Streets. Parkway East inbound to slow at Edgewood Swissvale. You'll line up at the Parkway West inbound at the top of Green Tree Hill. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Sun and clouds for the rest of today. It'll be warm this afternoon with a high of 82. Then tonight, clear skies, light winds, low 54. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and very warm, high 85. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Viking, dedicated to creating travel experiences for the thinking person, with programs designed for cultural enrichment on board and on shore. Discover more at Viking.com.
All right, this is what we call a developing story. This Donald Henson guy, about 2:45 in the morning, rammed his car into the gate. I've been there 100 times at FBI headquarters. You ain't getting through there with no car. Sorry. But he's unstable, and that kind of explains where we're headed with this. I want to play a couple audio clips, and then I want to get to the FBI sound, and I want to get to my man Mike. Hold on a second. Let's play. This is how this went out, about 2:45 this morning. FBI headquarters.
According to the FBI Pittsburgh Campus account, it's a Donald Henson from Penn Hills. Is who they have put out. That is confirmed. One in custody. Probably one in custody, 5th of Meyer, 949.
Now, that's the great work of the police departments here. They just snagged him. This is how this went out.
Checked the area. Scholar said there's a male that looks like the male involved from the crash at the FBI building gate this morning. Wearing a black t-shirt, blue jeans, white male with a crew cut. He's at the 5th Avenue bus stop. 35, he said, sir. 3417 Able. That's copy. I would imagine the FBI is probably handling that from their end. Is there any way you could reach out and notify them as well?
All right, that's enough. It kind of makes the point. So this starts at 2:45 this morning. Guy from Penn Hills rams in, and now believe me, folks, this is like a prison entrance. This isn't your little wooden security gate. It's a massive, massive metal gate. There are massive cement barriers. You ain't getting in and you ain't getting out if they don't want you to. So in other words, you'd have to be unstable to think you're going to drive through that gate. Then he threw a flag over the gate, and then he had some crap written on the window of his car. Then he walked away. And great news, they just grabbed him. Mike Fisher with Pittsburgh Scanner. Good morning, brother. How are you?
Morning, good morning. How's it going?
Well, this is a case of what we would describe as great police work, wouldn't you? This just came to a peaceful ending, didn't it, sir?
Marty, absolutely. What happened was, like you said before, 2:45 in the morning, something happened. The city responded. It is an absolute fortress. There's video. There's all sorts of stuff.
Yep.
All throughout the morning, there was an investigation. Tip came in to 911, went to city police. Pitt police heard it over the air, University of Pittsburgh. They went and intercepted the guy. They held him, told the city detectives were there to go through FBI liaison. They ID'd him, and they transported him to FBI headquarters for further questioning.
Hey, Mike has become a good friend and obviously a regular on the show and very actually vital to getting you this pertinent information. And I love the immediacy of the scanner traffic. Unfortunately, my brother, this is another case, not of a terrorist, as he would describe this as a terror incident, but of someone who's mentally ill. Almost daily on this show, my man, we're talking about someone who's mentally ill, committing a crime, whether it's downtown or somewhere else. Are we not, sir?
Marty, unfortunately, yes. I mean, the brain and the mind is a part of the body, and that seems to be something that we're doing very poorly as a society, of having these folks running around, whether it be through the ending homelessness, through driving your car through the FBI, or just through general crazy stuff that shouldn't happen.
Well, you're right.
I wish that we could pay more attention to it.
And let me read this to Mike's point. This is from a true insider. Well, Marty, this is from a judge who handles these cases. Well, Marty, there is no mental health system. The only place for them to go is under the bridges or the streets or the jails. Sad, but true. It is sad, and it is true, isn't it, Mike?
Marty, I like doing the funny stuff. I don't like the serious stuff. I mean, this is just bad. It's just bad. I mean, that's pretty much where we see people going. You're on the street or you're doing something dumb getting caught.
Yep, we're under a bridge. Thanks, my brother. Appreciate you, man.
No problem. Thank you.
Margot, play the clips. I wanted to get into this conversation. The clips from the FBI this morning before they grabbed this guy. Listen.
We consider this an act of terror because it was directly against the FBI. He has come here in the past, specifically targeted this building because it's the FBI building. That's not to say that we're going to charge him with anything of terrorism related. In scouring our indexes, we did find him. He did come here to the FBI field office a few weeks ago to make a complaint that didn't make a whole lot of sense, but we ran down everything that he came in with. It didn't have a federal nexus. We contacted him and let him know that there was no federal crime that we were able to charge.
I have one offense from when he was a juvenile. One. And no criminal offense since then, but a history of mental illness. And I wanted to address the terrorism thing. That's just silly. That's just silly. And I'm not going to drag my wife into this because this isn't her place to be arguing whether or not this is an act of terror, but I'm going to tell you this. Stop that. Call an act of terror an act of terror. This is a mentally ill man who needs help. Time and time again needed help and can't get help. He has been at FBI headquarters numerous times, was there last week. This guy needs help. I cannot get angrier than I am right now about what we decided to do with the mentally ill in America. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. When a judge who handles mental health cases says to me, and I'm going to read this, this is a quote. Well, Marty, since there is no mental health system, the only place for them to go is under the bridges or the streets or the jails. Sad, but true. To hell with this crap that this is an act of terror. This is a man who has terror going on in his brain. And he's a veteran. And let me connect the dots there. For the veterans who are out there with severe mental health issues, who are constantly trying to get help. It's a damn disgrace. If I discuss this one more time and you don't remember this, it's on you. The largest mental health facility in western Pennsylvania is the Allegheny County Jail. The largest mental health facility in Chicago is the Chicago County Jail. The largest mental health facility in Los Angeles is the LA County Jail. There's a frigging pattern here. And the jails can't handle them. The jails can't treat them. The jails can't help them. So they kick them to the streets. They head back home. They get a car. And in this case, drive it into the fence at the FBI. Can I say this? We're just lucky we have great cops who grabbed him before A, he hurt himself, or B, he hurt someone else, or C, he created a dangerous scenario that forced police to shoot and kill him. To which I would ask you, you know what the terror is? The fear that I have So we have a mental health system that can't treat people who are mentally ill. It's a friggin' disgrace. We should be ashamed. Largest mental health facility in Western PA is the damn jail. Prove me wrong. From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
All right, Marty, what's up is a couple of accidents still being cleared throughout the district. One in Shady Side on 5th Avenue at Morewood Avenue. Also an accident on Sawmill Run Boulevard, Route 51 at the intersection with Crane, so you'll find heavy traffic in both of those spots. No accidents in your way on the Parkway West, but the heavy delays greet you still before the top of Green Tree Hill all the way down to and through the Fort Pitt tunnels. As you're coming across the Fort Duquesne Bridge and heading for the North Shore Expressway, we're seeing very congested traffic there now with the PennDOT cameras. No accidents or disableds in your way there, but just heavy, slow-go traffic. And the Parkway East inbound slows at Edgewood Swissvale. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Hey, it's Andrew Filipponi. Sick of walking into a garage you hate that looks disgusting? Stains, cracks, bad epoxy? Let Comer & Cross fix you up with a gleaming new garage floor today. All it takes is one quick call to 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. A Comer & Cross concrete floor is going to transform your entire garage. It's going to be like pulling into a car showroom every night. It's never going to chip, crack, or show tire lip like epoxy or paint does, and they make it oh so easy. In and out in one day. That's all it takes. They're going to fix all the cracks and pits perfectly. The people from Comer & Cross, they do the job. No subcontractors. And if you've got a lot of crap in your garage, guess what? They're going to take it out for you. Call Comer & Cross and get the best price of the year, starting with $750 off during their end-of-year garage sale. So here's the number. 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. 800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to COMERcross.com.
This year's senior class is back at homecoming, reunited and protected with mNEXSpike, the new COVID-19 vaccine from Moderna for adults 65 and older. That's because these seniors know they face the highest risk of severe COVID. mNEXSpike, COVID-19 vaccine mRNA, is a COVID-19 vaccine for people 65 and older and for 12 to 64-year-olds at high risk for severe COVID. You shouldn't get mNEXSpike if you've had an allergic reaction to a previous Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. Rare cases of inflammation of the heart muscle and outer lining have been reported. Common side effects include pain at the injection site, tiredness, headache, muscle or joint pain, chills, nausea, vomiting, and underarm swelling or soreness. mNEXSpike may not protect everyone. This year's senior class came ready with a COVID-19 vaccine that helps them keep showing up. mNEXSpike from Moderna, here for the senior class. Visit mnexspike.com to schedule your vaccine today. That's mnexspike.com.
When I've had family members and friends with serious medical issues involving mistakes made by doctors, and it does happen, I take them to Perry Calder. John Perry is one of my closest friends, and he's one of the best lawyers in the country. He has doctors on staff. Look, I'm telling you, these big medical companies, they fear this law firm. They're that good. They're that successful. Perry Calder Law, 412-281-4200. Perry Calder Law, 412-281-4200. So, in the time I've known Bob Tootie, his company, Tootie Mechanical, has put 400 free furnaces in homes. I'm serious. That's where they begin at Tootie Mechanical. Known Bob since high school. He's been that way since high school. The best service, the biggest heart, the greatest facilities and equipment. They use it there. Tootie Mechanical. It's an amazing place. All about family and helping. 412-373-2000. 412-373-2000. John Perry proudly sponsors Get Marty. Perry Calder Law Firm, the best, folks. Tootie Mechanical Systems, Pittsburgh's HVAC, plumbing, and electric leaders, is a family business that I truly admire. Tootie culture is built on ethics, service, and making a difference in our community. Tootie Mechanical Systems, they're the people you want working in your home.
Hear about it, then talk about it. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Look, I know the FBI walked back the terror thing, but why'd they walk it up in the first place? I don't know. Americans get... What happens is it becomes the boy who cried wolf thing. Okay, another terror thing. And they come out, and this guy's mentally ill, and they knew that because he'd been there several times already. And they knew what they were looking for, and they knew that was the deal. They knew it wasn't a terror attack. But what happens is they hold a news conference and say, we're treating this as a terror attack, but it's really not terror. Am I nitpicking? Yeah, I am, because it's a big friggin' deal. And I get so annoyed and so disgusted and so distressed about a medical system that cannot treat mentally ill people. I'm sitting here with my wife, Christine, and we have in the past had either family members or friends with mental illness, and getting someone to see a psychiatrist, teenagers, even adults, sweetheart, we have both experienced this. It can take months for one appointment.
It's really true, but I will. Sometimes you have to go through the legal system.
Yep.
It's just very, very difficult, especially when the need is urgent, which it often is. I will say we had a call with UPMC recently with Pittsburgh, and they were sharing with us that it's now been 1 year that they've had a walk-in mental health clinic for kids and families. So that is something new, and they are trying to meet that need, but it's certainly not enough for everybody.
Hold on. That's a great point, and I'm so glad you remembered that. The truth of the matter is there have never been this many folks with mental illness. I have tried and tried to break through on this, and it's very, very difficult. Using Western Psych as an example, and Patrick lived this with me. We had a woman who had a son who was in halfway houses, and he was busting windows and doors. Severely autistic was how he was described, and hurting people. Okay? She could not get him a room anywhere. Western Psych has 8 beds, and that's that.
Yeah, it's so small.
And even if you get someone 302, that's 3 days, and
Right.
that's that. This notion that Western Psych is the dumping ground for thousands of mentally ill people is ignorant by definition. And sweetheart, because I lived this with Patrick, the woman called this show, and she went to a hospital in Washington, PA, and we lived this for a week with her. And, honey, it broke my heart because she sat down in the emergency room with her son. Remember this, Patrick?
I remember.
And, Patrick, what'd she tell us? I am not leaving until I get him a bed somewhere, right?
Exactly. And she
did.
waited and waited and waited.
For days, like a week,
It
right?
took a week. She slept. And, by the way, they were wonderful to her. They were amazing to her. They had doctors talking to him. They had nurses. They gave them food and blankets. They let them sleep there. They could have kicked them out.
Yeah.
They could have. It took a week, and guess where he ended up? Philadelphia. It took 7 days to find one bed for one severely issued young man. One bed.
5 hours away.
5 hours away. Regarding the VA, one of my closest friends, Maureen, and I hope she's listening, her son was a vet. He was homicidal and suicidal. And she couldn't get him into the VA for severe long-term treatment. And it just happened that the director of the VA was listening the day we had her on.
Wow.
He was admitted for 3 months, changed his life, saved his life. There are victories. There are. But this man that I know nothing about, Donald Henson, except that he's now become part of the narrative of mentally ill people who can't get help. And sweetheart, when a judge sends you a note saying the mental health system here, where do they go? Under bridges.
Right. It's a exactly true representation. There is no mental health system. Because when you say the largest facility is the jail, well, there is no program there. I mean, they might see some doctors, they might see some mental health people, but it's not like a thorough process and treatment plan like you would get at something like Western Psych.
There are 2,500 roughly men and women right now this morning in the Allegheny County Jail, roughly. And if you talk to the folks there, and they'll tell you the truth, and this is a fact, and it's going to scare you, 70 to 80% of those in jail right now are minor offenses, and 70% of them have mental health issues. So here again, we have this man, Donald Henson, we can't find any criminal background, one minor offense, but we find a trail of mental health issues. Do you think that man wanted to ram his car into FBI headquarters? Do you think he wanted to throw a flag over the fence? Do you think if his mind was straight and he'd been treated, do you think that he wanted to do this? Hell no. Jim, go ahead.
Hey, Marty.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you for a moment about mental health. Okay, I'm 84 years old. Okay, I've been around the block a few times, and I'll tell you this. One of the biggest fallacies in our lifetime was doing away with Woodville, Mayview, Dixmont, and all the other facilities that were designed to treat mental health.
True. It's true. And by the way, I love you, and you're spot on. But my brother, that was 50 friggin' years ago.
That's right.
And they've had 50 years.
Marty, the reason why it was all done was our politicians decided to save a few bucks.
Right.
It was more than enough to put these people into the communities. Let the communities take care of them. That's ridiculous.
Their theory was, if I want to take the high road on this, and I love your call and I love your passion, was to mainstream people, to have them in halfway houses, to give them treatment there so that their life would be better. What ended up happening was they got dumped off in big cities. I talked to cops, and Patrick was here and heard this, cops who drove mentally ill people from downtown Pittsburgh to the airport and dropped them off in the terminal. That was their idea of treatment of the mentally ill back in the day, and it isn't much better. So, NASCO roofing. Here's why I love NASCO. First of all, woman needed a roof, and her husband. Horrible situation with the roof. Massive hole on the roof. Massive. No one would fix it. $20,000 plus job. Jerry and Asari, NASCO roofing, fix it for free. For free. The work is unbelievable. The warranty, the work, the labor, guaranteed. Absolutely the best products, the best staffing, the best pricing, the best service, and they care. NASCO Roofing, 412-373-2000. NASCO, 412-373-2000. Get Marty's brought to you by UPMC, life-saving, life-changing information.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Viking, dedicated to creating travel experiences for the thinking person, with programs designed for cultural enrichment on board and on shore. Discover more at Viking.com.
From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 69, partly cloudy skies at 10:30. I'm Paul Rasmussen. The search for a Penn Hills man accused of ramming a car into the gates of the FBI field office on the south side ended this morning in Oakland. as News Radio KDKA's Marty Griffin has reported. Donald Henson is accused of driving a Toyota Corolla into the gate around 2:40 a.m. and throwing an American flag over the gate. University of Pittsburgh police took Henson into custody near the campus at 5th and Mayron Avenues. Earlier, Agent Christopher Giordano told KDKA TV they're looking at what happened as an act of terror against the FBI.
Specifically targeted this building because it's the FBI building. That's not to say that we're going to charge him with anything of terrorism related.
A bomb squad was called in to check out the car left at the scene. Henson is believed to have a history of mental health issues. The Allegheny County Sheriff's Office is the latest to warn residents about a new phone scam. News Radio KDK's Tamira Rush has that.
A Pittsburgh retiree was scammed out of $7,000 Tuesday by callers posing as court officials by using a fake court document. One claimed the victim missed jury duty. Another spoofed the court's number, posing as a captain to make the threat seem real. The caller told the victim he could avoid arrest by paying $6,500 per citation, promising a refund after a handwriting analyst at the courthouse. The scammer insisted Bitcoin, rejecting the victim's offer to pay by check. The victim withdrew $7,000 and sent it via a convenience store Bitcoin terminal using QR codes the scammer provided. The sheriff's office will never request payment over the phone, through gift cards, or via apps like Venmo or Zelle. Tamira Rush, News Radio KDKA.
On Wall Street, the Dow is up 248 points at 46,006. Right now, the NASDAQ is down 107 points, and the S&P is down 8. KDKA Radio News Time, 10:31. Our next update at 11. I'm Paul Rasmussen on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
Hey, folks, it's Marty. My guys at Cousins Roofing, Siding, and Decks specialize in slate. Not every construction company has the knowledge and training in working with slate. I have slate on my home. It can get expensive, but it can also last 100 years. Do it right the first time. Call Sam and Calvin to get on their schedule right now. They also specialize in decks and siding. Call thecousins.com. That's callthecousins.com. I trust them. So should you. Callthecousins.com. Always talking about the Bowser experience. So here it is. You know, we're about to have 5 Bowser cars. So one of the leases is turning over. And so we want to buy the car. My man David Bowser, my man Mark at Bowser, they're on the phone with us. They got us, I swear, they got us a deal that we could buy that car. And now that car is worth more to us than the street value out there if we just bought it off the streets, off a lot somewhere. It's that kind of dealership. I'm telling you, the Bowser folks work their tails off to make sure, as a consumer, you get the best deal, the best product. We had a car that was hit. They immediately gave us a replacement, immediately put the call in for the parts, and fixed a car that was hit in 10 days. Try that somewhere else. It's an experience like no other. The Bowser family makes you part of their family. Bowser, the only car we will ever have, a Bowser car.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
How long have you had sharp pains in your heel or that burning sensation on the bottom of your feet? Do you want to lose weight and exercise, but cannot because of foot, ankle, knee, or low back pain? Many people come to the Good Feet store and talk about these same issues. The Good Feet store has helped thousands of customers.
The pain in my foot was so bad I could not walk for any length of time. I walked in the Good Feet store in pain, and I walked out pain-free.
Good Feet arch supports fit in all your own shoes. Ladies, you can now be comfortable in your favorite high heels. Visit us in Robinson Town Center, in Cranberry Township, in Morgantown at Suncrest Town Center, or book your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
No shots, no surgery, and no medication. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet store. Come in for a free test walk today.
Hey, it's Marty. Look, folks, you know fall is the perfect season to tackle those home improvement projects before this weather turns cold, and it will. If your windows are old and drafty, inefficient, you need new ones, come on, folks. Universal Windows Direct. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, no limit. 0% financing for 3 years. That is amazing. And you get $500 off your entire home improvement project when you schedule. 412-545-6003. 412-545-6003. From the PJ BJ Fitzpatrick, Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen, what's up?
What's up, Marty, is we are expecting at some point between now and 2 p.m. today, and then again tomorrow between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., big beams of steel to be delivered to the Commercial Street Bridge project on the eastern side of the Squirrel Hill tunnels. So trucks carrying those steel beams will come inbound on the Parkway West. They will head outbound through the Squirrel Hill tunnels, and then when they need to head into place in that construction zone, there will be a stoppage of traffic on the westbound or inbound Parkway East for up to 15 minutes at a time. We're keeping an eye on that area with the PennDOT cameras, and we'll certainly let you know if it happens anytime soon. Right now, the Parkway East backs at Edgewood Swissvale. Outbound, it's slow past to the Greenfield Bridge overpass. Inbound on the Parkway West, you're sluggish at the top of Green Tree Hill. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
A mix of sun and clouds for the rest of today. It'll be warm this afternoon with a high of 82. Then tonight, clear skies, light winds, low 54. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and very warm, high 85. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
New to Medicare, get covered with MediConnect. Listen Wednesdays around 1:40 to hear Lance O'Brien of MediConnect help you navigate the Medicare process. Simply great, unbiased information to get you the best healthcare coverage. Get covered with MediConnect. Medicare made simple.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
One of my favorite politicians is Dave Sunday. And I'll tell you what, I'm a law and order guy, and he's a law and order guy. Plus, he's a lot bigger than me, so if I don't say he's great, he can kick my ass. And that's always an issue. Dave Sunday, how are you? Can't hear him.
I'm here.
There you go. Got you, Dave. How are you this morning, sir?
Every day's a blessing. Doing well.
Shift that camera over just a bit, my man, so we can see you.
Here, let me see if I can figure this out.
There you go. Boom.
There we go.
Hey, I mean this when I say it. You know that because you.
My head.
There you go. I mean this when I say it, and you know this because we've been face to face. You're a law and order guy, and I believe that this nation right now. And I mean this, Dave, needs law and order right now more than ever before. Would you not agree, sir?
I agree 1,000%. I mean, it's not even a question. We absolutely need law and order. It's something that that we always need as a society. I mean, when you have law and order, everybody knows what's going to what the outcomes will be from bad behavior. And you know, it's why I ran for Attorney General. It's why I'm a career prosecutor. It's the way I've handled myself throughout the course of my career. And it's the way that I'm handling the Attorney General's office.
And you say that as if, yeah, a matter of fact, we need law and order. But the truth is we've gotten away from that in America. And I would suggest that you and I take a walk through downtown Pittsburgh, and you'll say, you know what, Marty, you're right. So my point is we kind of have to, as Americans, re-indoctrinate ourselves to making our cities and communities better places. Do we not, sir?
I agree 1,000%. I mean, I always use the term accountability. When I was a kid, if I did something that my dad didn't like, I would be held accountable real quick. And, you know, I think that we have to, there has to be accountability. I mean, you know, one of the things, you know, my father, I reference him a lot.
Sure.
Although he's old, he's grumpy. But, you know, when I was a kid, he always told me, he said, there are always consequences of your actions. Everything you do impacts someone else or you or both. And I think we need to get back to a place where we are cognizant of the way that what we do and how it impacts other people. I feel very, very strongly about that. You know, I think that we have to get back to a place in society where people recognize that your actions impact other people and you will be held accountable if that's in a manner that causes them harm.
Well, and Dave, you're doing that by these operations like what you did in the McKeesport area, arresting almost 20 people, taking 17 firearms off the streets. Why target that kind of area, especially like the Mon Valley?
So when I took office, I went around all throughout Pennsylvania and I talked to people in many, many different communities. These are local residents. These are police chiefs. These are line police officers. People that are involved in mental health, people that are involved in substance abuse, to try to identify areas where we can use our resources to help maximize outcomes for local law enforcement. And through that process, we identified McKeesport as an area that we could utilize our resources and help bring people together to achieve that goal. And that's exactly what we did. We identified McKeesport collectively, we meaning not just the AG's office, but the Allegheny County Gun Violence Task Force with all the different police departments in the area. We all got together. It was identified that was a place where we needed to focus our efforts. We focused our efforts on individuals that we thought were contributors to the escalating atmosphere of violence in that area. We focused on them, and that's what culminated in yesterday's press conference and the arrests of 18 people.
And back to my point, law and order. And to your point, sir, let me read this. This just happened. Kaya Oliver just arraigned for 2 homicides, Dave. You know when she did these homicides, Dave? You know when she planned them? 17 years old. She was 17 friggin' years old. And according to my sources, her mom was a career criminal. That was her role model, and she was attracted to criminal men. We get the breakdown of society, the breakdown of families, and it culminates with the breakdown of cities and the breakdown of America. It's that important, is it not, sir?
It is that important. I mean, we have so many obligations in this world, not only in our professional capacity, but as parents, as friends, as family members. And, the reality is we have to find a way to, and I want to take a step back. When we talk about the issues in society and we talk about the problems we're facing, I always remind people that there is a place that we can all go to make a difference, and that is ourselves. And what I mean by that is it is very easy to cast blame on everyone else whenever something happens. The most impactful thing that I've learned in my life, and I'm not some, bastion of wisdom, this comes from me just in my professional career and my life, is that we can make a huge difference when we say, what can I do better personally? How can I use my position to impact these things that I have a problem with? That is a huge part of what we need to do as a societal team here, for lack of a better way to put it. Focus on what can we do personally to make it better.
Well, I know this is going to make a difference in the community of McKeesport.
It will.
And there's so many places that are desperate for this. Do you see this in the bigger picture as helping even with things like political violence, where we're seeing the assassination of activists?
I think that whenever someone is held accountable, and so let's take the cause of the violence and set it aside.
Right.
And let's view it as violence, okay? Regardless of the cause of the violence, individuals that commit violent acts must and will be held accountable. And I think once we get to that place where people are seeing that happen around them, they're going to start recognizing that this isn't just some video game. This isn't some, internet thing that's happening. This is real life. And when the police go and they arrest someone and they put handcuffs on them and they take them to prison, and that person goes in front of a judge and a jury, they realize very quickly how serious this is. And society, life is too precious. Every day is a blessing. Life is too precious, and we have to work together. And I'm proud of this investigation and this operation, because this was a lot of people coming together to do a good thing, and we did it, and we're going to do a lot more of it.
Well, it's law and order, brother. And in McKeesport, they needed law and order, and they don't have the manpower, the funding, or the resources, or the undercover capabilities. And you teamed up with them, and you made a damn difference, and you brought the hammer down. So now they have law and order. It's where we all need to be in cities across America, sir. And it's a start, but it's not a finish, is it, Dave?
It's not. It's not even close to being a finish. But you got to start somewhere. And so we are doing the same thing in Philadelphia. We're doing the same thing all throughout Pennsylvania, where we are identifying these police departments and areas that need a little bit of help. And we're going in there and we're providing them that assistance so that we are not saying to them, this is how you do it. We're saying to them, you're experts in your area. How can our resources help you get to where you need to be? That's what we're doing.
Hey, man, you and me need to take a walk downtown Pittsburgh someday. You might change Philadelphia and add Pittsburgh to that list, sir. How about that?
I'd love to do it. I'll go for a walk with you anytime, Marty.
Let's go, man. I got restaurant owners begging me for you to come downtown. Begging me.
All right, let's do it.
All right, man. Dave Sunday, appreciate you, man. You're the best. Guy cares. He's a big man who makes a big difference. It's the truth, man. Law and order. From the P.J. Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen Gamble, what's up?
What's up, Marty? We have some delays around some slide repair work and water line relocation work that's kicking off today in Beaver County. Heads up, these started around 9 this morning with the lane restrictions and a portion of Route 65 closing between Grandview Road and Bennett Drive. It'll be closed continuously through mid-November with a posted detour. And that's in North Sewickley Township at Beaver County. So certainly add the extra time into your travels there. If you're trying to travel a little bit closer to downtown Pittsburgh, you have a lot of company on the Parkway West, backing right around the top of Green Tree Hill. Still kind of heavy heading through the West End on South Main Street and Route 51 as you approach the southern end of the West End Bridge and West End Circle. The lineup on the Parkway East inbound greets you between Wilkinsburg and Edgewood Swissvale. With AAA traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Listen to the Marty Griffin Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Viking, dedicated to creating travel experiences for the thinking person, with programs designed for cultural enrichment on board and on shore. Discover more at Viking.com.
Get your football fix every Thursday evening at 6 with the Bowser Chevrolet Quest for the Best High School Football Show live from Dave & Buster's. Dan Zangrilli and the Dean of High School Sports, Mike White, break it all down. It's powered by Bowser Chevrolet and brought to you by Diulis Law, First National Bank, and by Guardian Protection, your hometown home and business security company. Only on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
My friend Robert Levin and his team have brought back the legendary coupon sale, Levin Furniture and Mattress. Unlock unbeatable deals. Visit levinfurniture.com/coupons. These deals won't last long. Check this out. 25% off Lazy Boy and Flex Steel. 40% off all other outdoor furniture. Plus 5-year special financing with no money down or qualifying purchases of $24.99 or more. Shop Levin's legendary coupon sale. Amazing.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Protect your home and auto by bundling them with Progressive, and you'll have a little less to worry about. But we know you'll find other things to worry about. Like that text you just got from your boss? Hey, call me when you get a sec. Hey, call me when you get a sec. Hey, call me when you get a sec. Oh, hey, call me when you get a sec. Yeah, this is bad. Oh, well, at least you protected your home and auto with Progressive, so you don't have to worry about that. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
My sis, Barb, has been fighting this battle with pancreatic cancer. And the folks at UPMC said, hey, I know you're sick. I know you're in pain. Let's try this chemo. They did. She tried it. Her cancer numbers dropped by hundreds of points. Hundreds. Big, big change. UPMC giving hope. Life-changing, life-saving information. You want to find the greatness in business? Carlos, Greater Pitt Tree Service, elderly woman, bunch of trees hanging over her house. Could damage the heck out of the house. She can't pay for it. Carlos took care of those trees. Carlos is a magnificent businessman as well as a humanitarian who gives a damn about people. Greater Pitt Tree Service. The best pricing, the best professionals, the biggest heart. 412-884-TREE, 412-884-TREE. Call Carlos.
Here's your Jill on Money question of the day.
Maureen from New Jersey asks, my husband and I are in our 70s, and we have put a deposit on a continuing care retirement community with good credentials that's nearby us. I'd like to know your financial opinion of this type of retirement planning. Well, Maureen, I am not against these communities, but that said, it is crucial that you do your homework because a lot of these places have been bad at managing their own finances. So good credentials aside, you need to have somebody look at the finances of this place to help you make the decision, especially at this stage of your lives.
Have a question? Go to JillOnMoney.com.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, let's lighten it up a bit because we can. A couple things with my wife sitting here. So the dynamic of our household has changed. And we love it, but it's different, right, sweetheart?
It's quite different, actually. I wouldn't have thought it was going to be that different because Chloe was away and so busy, but she and Sophia were both home this summer, and then when they both left, yeah, it changed.
Okay, so it was 5 of us, and 3 girls and 2 guys and a dog. I guess that includes, so that's 3, yeah. 4 women, 2 guys. Now it's just you and the damn dog against me and Vince.
Yes, and in this case, Rosie doesn't really count.
She doesn't.
So, no.
Although you did pull her to your side on the couch the other night and say,
did.
Rosie, it's just me and you, honey.
We're the only girls, yes.
Because you're outnumbered by the guys.
I've honestly, my whole life, it's been more women than men. Because in growing up, it was me and my sister, my mom, and my dad.
You never had a brother.
Never had a brother, right.
And never really dated anyone vulgar until you met me. So I was kind of a shock to your system, like cold water to your face.
Well, you toned it down for me because you knew it was not my thing.
This is true. I quit stealing cars, lighting things on fire.
Or burping and emitting
and
gas.
Farting, all that stuff. But now, I think this is fascinating because you have a teenage son.
Yes.
And there's things that he does that are kind of an affront to you that I just look at you and say, honey, teenage boy.
I also think it's good for him to learn that women in general are not going to be into that. Like, if you want a girlfriend, just beware. Plan on not doing these things in front of women.
Or doing some things. For instance, we went away to a wonderful wedding at Hilton Head, and they were all in the same room, and the girls let us know on the 4th day that Vince had not done what for 4 days?
He did not brush his teeth the entire trip.
For 4 days.
Until the last morning. And I know this because I gave him a toothbrush that came from the dentist. You know, they give you those ones that it hadn't been opened.
Right.
It was sealed. He's 15 now.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you think we're like Vince? Don't you want to have good breath, at least for your friends, or maybe even a girlfriend sometime?
And then there's the other thing, the noises, the bodily noises that boys. He has now decided to test your limit on because, first of all, he's the most spoiled kid because he's the youngest and he's a boy, just like I was. And as I've argued in front of family members and friends that you would pick corn from his you-know-what because he means that much to you. And it's actually kind of pretty to watch, but he's kind of spoiled. So now he decided to test his limits on the allowance by doing what at the dinner table?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you name it. Definitely burping.
Farting. Several times in the car, you had to open all the windows in
I've
the car.
had to tell him not to use his fingers to eat. I mean, stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not easy being surrounded by men, is it?
No, it's definitely not. But it's fun.
And then I want to transition into this. The interview with the guy from
Noah Wiley.
What a class
The
act.
star of The Pit.
We always expect him to be kind of arrogant and aloof, and he was none of those things.
Well, on the show, if you watch The Pit, which, our family are big fans, he comes off like just so cool, and you just hope that in real life he's really like that.
I don't get cool. I get wigged out, stressed out, overwhelmed with death and grief.
But he seems compassionate and like a nice person.
Oh, yeah.
So you want in person when you meet someone like that to be also like a nice person. And let me tell you, he blew me out of the water. Could not have been nicer.
Cool.
Seriously, like just walked right up to me and several others, shook our hands, didn't know who we were, just to do it, And then after the 20-minute interview, which was so generous with his time.
Oh, yeah.
Then I'm like, can I get a picture? He's like, absolutely. And then he took pictures with everybody. I mean, again, very, very generous with his time. But
Tell us about his mom, though. His mom.
And the reason they were there was to thank the people in the art. That's why they came.
Hold on. Tell us about his mom. Where was she born?
His mom. I didn't even know he had all these Pittsburgh connections.
neither.
His mom was born at UPMC Shady Side.
Come on.
Yeah, his dad went to Carnegie Mellon.
Come on.
His parents met here. His mom is actually a nurse. So the two of them have actually lobbied in Congress for better protections for nurses in particular and healthcare workers. So he is so passionate about using this show to help healthcare workers.
It's a hell of a show.
Really cool.
He's a hell of a gentleman, and he took the high road. He reinforced our belief that movie stars can be good people, too, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I love it. Margot, do you watch that show at all? Margot?
No, I don't.
Why not, Margot?
What'd you say?
Why not?
I should, but I get a little squeamish with blood.
Oh, wow, because she does, too. She
I do,
actually
too.
turns away.
But I will say it's still worth watching because, once in a while I do have to kind of look away. I'm like, yeah, that's a little bit much for me. And there are definitely graphic parts, but it's such a great show and gives you really a cool idea of what it's like in a real hospital.
It's riveting. It's unbelievable. It's amazing. And I love hearing the stories, honey. Thank you. Thank you, Margot. Right back, folks.
It's the little things. The information you need. People you know. The little things that make a big difference. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
The Village at St. Barnabas. The perfect place for mom.
So, my sister Barb is my unicorn. She's battling cancer right now. You know what she mentioned last night when we were in the hospital with her? I am not exaggerating. Her necklace, her diamond necklace that she covets. She calls it beautiful. Her pride. You know where we got it? Diamonds Direct, my store. From the moment you walk in the doors, they treat you like a VIP. I'm telling you, folks, champagne, the kindness, the way they take care of people, everything sparkles. Amazing, amazing selection, amazing people. I have 5 family members and other relatives wearing their jewelry right now because Diamonds Direct is special. Man, they're the most beautiful engagement rings you've ever seen. You've got to check out Diamonds Direct. It's right in front of the Ross Park Mall, McKnight Road. You'll love it. Diamonds Direct.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Open Phone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Open Phone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. openphone.com/TRY.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
KDKA and KDKA FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
72 and partly cloudy at 11 o'clock. I'm Paul Rasmussen in a story making national headlines. A Penn Hills man accused of ramming the entrance gates of the FBI's Pittsburgh field office is now in custody. Donald Henson allegedly drove a white sedan into the gates around 2:40 a.m. Agent Christopher Giordano told KDKA-TV after the collision, Henson threw an American flag over the gate.
We consider this an act of terror because it was directly against the FBI. He has come here in the past.
As News Radio KDKA's Marty Griffin first reported, Henson left the area on foot and was later arrested by University of Pittsburgh officers. He's believed to have a history of mental health issues. The man wanted for trying to injure or kill a man in July is now in custody. Trooper Clifford Greenfield told KDKA-TV James Seaver was arrested last night on an Indiana County trail near Homer City.
An off-duty trooper was in the community and reported a sighting to us, possible sighting of Mr. Seaver.
Seaver was on the run for nearly 2 months, accused of putting a pipe bomb under his former landlord's lawnmower at a home in Salem Township, Westmoreland County. It exploded when the man started the mower, but he was not injured. Charges include attempted homicide. Pittsburgh City Council is scheduled to vote this morning on next steps for developing a new public safety center. With more on that story, News Radio KDKA's Tamira Rush.
The proposed center in the Lincoln-Leamington-Belmore neighborhood would be built on the site of the old VA hospital on Highland Drive. The idea dates back to 2018 during former Mayor Bill Peduto's time in office. The city bought the property in 2021 for just $1, but there's a catch. It must be used for public safety or emergency management. The proposal has sparked significant debate. Proponents argue that the center would improve operational efficiency and bring much-needed modernization to law enforcement. Critics, on the other hand, caution that it may contribute to the militarization of the police.
King Charles is hosting President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump on an unprecedented second state visit to Britain today. The backdrop for day one is Windsor Castle near London, the King welcoming the Trumps with a lavish state banquet later today. And the Federal Reserve is meeting today. Afterward, we'll announce a decision on the benchmark interest rate. CBS Money Watch's Kelly O'Grady.
We're expecting the rate cut, but we're also going to hear from the Fed their projections for how many interest rate cuts they expect for the rest of the year. There's 2 more meetings that they will hold before the end of 2025, and how many interest rate cuts they're expecting for 2026.
At this hour, the markets right now, the Dow is up 292 points at 46,050. The NASDAQ is down 112 points, and the S&P is down 7. KDKA Sports Cubs Pirates today on KDKA Radio. Johan Oviedo starts for the Bucks, and our coverage begins at 11:40. The news is brought to you by P.J. Fitzpatrick. 45 years of experience and thousands of 5-star reviews. Trust PJ.com. KDKA Radio News Time 11:03. 72, partly cloudy in Pittsburgh. AAA traffic and AccuWeather next.
This is Barry and Steve Ehrenrich from Petite Kitchen and Bath Design Center, and we'd like to say thank you.
Thank you for making Petite the premier kitchen and bath design center and remodeler in Western Pennsylvania.
For over 50 years, you've welcomed us into your homes to help solve your remodeling problems. Our goal is, and always has been, to avoid the nightmare of remodeling. We want to give you the kitchen or bath of your dreams.
Thank you for taking it one step further. You recommended us to your friends. There's no greater statement of satisfaction than to say to a friend, I love my Petite kitchen, or I'm so happy with my Petite bath. You should call them too.
From custom creation to expert installation, you don't have to go anywhere else. And you didn't. You came to Petite. So, thank you.
And to those of you who haven't been to Petite yet, haven't you waited long enough? PA 625.
So, in the time I've known Bob Tootie, his company, Tootie Mechanical, has put 400 free furnaces in homes. I'm serious. That's where they begin at Tootie Mechanical. Known Bob since high school. He's been that way since high school. The best service, the biggest heart, the greatest facilities and equipment, they use it there. Tootie Mechanical. It's an amazing place. All about family and helping. 412-373-2000. 412-373-2000. From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, AAA Traffic, powered by Bowser. Ellen, my friend, what's up?
All right, thanks, Marty. It looks like we have some heavy traffic as folks are coming inbound on the Parkway East. Delays grab you between Wilkinsburg and Edgewood Swissvale as you make your way to the Squirrel Hill tunnels. And then once you're on maybe the Boulevard of the Allies, let's say you wanted to head up into the uptown section of the city or maybe toward 579 that way, beware of some heavy traffic on the Boulevard of the Allies, especially around the intersection with Marion along the Bluff. Looks like we might have had an earlier accident there. Parkway West on the inbound ride, it's slow over the top of the hill, but the majority of the backups really begin for you right around the Parkway Center Mall on-ramp before the Fort Pitt tunnels. Outbound toward the airport, it's a great commute right now. With AAA Traffic, I'm Ellen Gamble on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
A warm afternoon lies ahead with a mix of sun and clouds. Our high 82. Tonight will be clear, though 54. Mostly sunny tomorrow and quite warm, high 85. Still warm on Friday with sunshine, high 83. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Do you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is letting everyone know about great debt relief options now available to help people with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of your credit card debt. Get a free debt relief consultation when you call 800-201-7676, 800-201-7676, 800-201-7676.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
I've always been confounded by drunk driving cases. I know Colin has touched on this a lot and has similar frustrations with drunk drivers and drunk driving cases. I could pull up cases where drunk drivers have been arrested 22 times and haven't done jail time. I know a bunch of judges and lawyers. And here's the narrative, and it's out there, and it's real, because I've seen it. The narrative is this, that in a significant number of cases, it doesn't matter how drunk you were. It just doesn't. Doesn't matter if you killed a man, which is what happened here. Doesn't matter if you crippled a woman. Crippled, which is what happened here. If you're a young girl and a single mom, someone on that damn jury is going to say, aw. I know she was driving nearly 80 miles an hour, and I know she was triple the legal limit. I know she was drinking at a bar and hammered with her baby in a car seat on the bar, but she shouldn't go to prison. And so what happens is a woman who kills a man, hammered off her ass, and cripples a woman, and I mean did things to her body with that car accident that are life-changing and scary as hell to even talk about. ends up in jail for maybe 3 years. Maybe. And the family members are told you're lucky because she could have walked. Look, I have a bias here, a legit bias, because the woman whose husband was killed, her name's Maria. Her brother is Mark Sorreo, who's one of my closest friends. He's family to me. We're like brothers. And this one ripped them apart, and because of that, ripped me apart. And I wanted to talk to Mark about the impact of this and the impact statement that was read yesterday that had everybody, including myself and my wife, when we read it, crying. And Mark joins us this morning. I know this is tough, brother, but I appreciate you doing this. This is important. It is very difficult, isn't it, sir?
Yeah, it's been a rough 2 years, for our whole family.
I got to be blunt about this, and I need your honest opinion because you can't tell a lie. It's just not your thing. Is this justice to you? 2.5, maybe 3 years in prison for a man who killed your brother-in-law and crippled your sister. Is this justice, sir?
Marty, I don't think there is such thing as justice for something like this because it was life-changing for so many people, including the girl's family. I mean, I actually felt sorry for her husband, her baby, her father-in-law who was at the trial. There's really no justice possible, but for my sister, my sister had the choice whether to insist on a trial, which she would have, for what she pled guilty to, she would have received 22 years. And Maria actually felt that her serving 20 years and being away from her child for 20 years and husband wouldn't have brought her husband back, wouldn't have brought Maria's husband back or fixed her body. And she actually agreed to the plea deal. Maria agreed to it. I mean, at first she was really questioning whether she should do it or not. But yesterday she felt closure, kind of. Like, yesterday was kind of like a funeral. There's no good outcome. Nothing good happened. They put the girl in handcuffs, which I think was fair, because what she did. The judge talked to her for a while in front of everyone, and I thought everything she said was spot on. Maria's impact statement made her feel things that she had to say to Alyssa. So, yeah, I think if as close to justice as you could come because it made Maria feel closure.
We're tight. And, I know people behind the scenes, and there were judges that were outraged by this, suggesting the DA's office should have taken this to trial, suggesting she should have been punished more severely. I find it amazing that you folks have peace with this because the impact on your sister's life is dramatic. Along with losing her beloved husband, I'm going to read some of this impact statement in a moment. Please describe to our audience the horrifying injuries, which are insane, that she lives with right now. Let's start with her ribs, sir.
Yeah, so 2 of her ribs were ripped off of her sternum, and they're actually behind her. And she had 21 surgeries, and the surgeons sometimes are able to pull ribs back, but they weren't able to pull them back. So it left her with one of the I think the surgeon said the largest hernia on record. And they actually have it in books to teach people about. But so they put a large piece of mesh there to hold her intestines in, and that failed about 3 months after the surgery. So now she has a large bulge on her side. When she went back to the surgeon told her that if they tried to fix that, it could be fatal for her. So a lot of the stuff that they did, they weren't really able to repair her. The impact was so severe that it ruined her hip, broke the ball that holds into her hip, and they replaced her hip. But when the surgeon was working on that, they found that all of the muscle around her hip bone was dead because of the impact, and that never comes back. So she will always have to worry about when she's stepping up or things that she's doing that her hip would fall out of that joint. She walks with a cane now. She had no physical restrictions before this. She's like she can't even imagine driving ever again, because she said she sees headlights even when she's as a passenger in a car.
This woman, Alyssa, was driving more than 70 miles an hour. She was triple the legal limit. Mark, am I wrong? She was actually drinking at a bar. She had her baby with her, right? Right? When she got hammered.
Yeah, and the DA talked about it in the trial yesterday. She had her baby in a car seat, 7 months old, on top of the bar, which I think that also brings the bar into question. Like, who serves a young woman with a baby for hours? And she was 3.5 times the legal limit, but that was 2 hours after the accident.
My God. This is Knox's,
God only knows what
Knox's Tavern and Grill in Blawnox. Let me read some of this impact statement. Your decision to drink on January 16th, 2023 has changed my life forever. You can't imagine the panic and pain. Wow. My husband and I faced that night because you were too drunk to realize the terror we felt when we saw your headlights in our lane coming at us more than 75 miles an hour. The last thing my husband said to me in a hysterical scream was, "Maria, oh my God." Jesus, Mark. Wow. Then he died with his head resting on my shoulder. I knew he was gone, but I prayed someone would be able to help us while waiting for the first responders to rescue us. It's a horrifying letter that brought it home. But you actually described to me that this letter and being able to read this impact statement in court was cathartic, that it actually helped you and the family get past this. Is that true, sir?
Yeah. And I mean, we're always impressed. Maria's she's a very strong person. She read that letter, which everybody cries when they hear.
Oh, yeah.
She read it without crying, and she read it directly to Alyssa. And it was so impactful for everyone, and for her, to be able to read it. One of the things about that night is a fireman from, I'm not even sure, I think Tarentum, heard the accident on his scanner, and he wasn't working. He went down to the accident, and he stayed with Maria for 2 hours while they cut the roof off of her car and lifted her husband out of the car and her. And she feels that he may have saved her life because he kept her coherent. He talked to her the entire time, and he didn't know her. Amazing. There was amazing things that happened.
You took a friend, a brother, an uncle, a father, and my husband away. Wow. You caused the most horrendous memory that anyone could ever comprehend. I watched my husband's head slam into the dashboard of my car and then watched his head fall onto my shoulder, never to hear his voice again. Jesus. Over the past 18 months, you've had the privilege to watch your son grow and spend time with him, enjoy birthdays, anniversaries, and holidays with your husband. I grieved every one of those days without my husband. People ask me if I hate you. No, I don't hate you, Alyssa. But I hate what you did to me. I hate that you took my husband from me. I hate that your decision to drive drunk stole my independence. Wow. I hate that I can't easily get into a car and will probably never drive again. Wow. I hated the pain my family had to endure watching what I went through. I hate being dependent on my family for daily life. I hate that because you carried almost no insurance, I'm financially dependent on my family. Do I believe this is intentional? Yes, I do. You turned your car into a weapon when you decided to get into your car drunk that evening. You had no regard for me, my husband, or even your own child. Do I wish harm on you? No. I hope I can somehow forget that our paths ever crossed. I believe that God spared my life that night because he has more for me to do. My husband deserves some sense of justice. How many years would you think someone should spend in jail for killing your husband or child? Please remember our names, Alyssa, Mike and Maria. Every time you decide to get behind a wheel drunk or high, remember that you destroyed a family because of your blatant disregard for us. Mark, that sums it up, brother. And that's that.
Yeah.
Anything I can do, my man. I love you. You know that. We're family, and I love Maria, and I love her strength. And what I want to wrap my arms around right now is the compassion you've shown, and Maria has shown, and your tolerance for controlling your rage, because I would have wanted to burn something down. And you have an amazing family, an amazing sister, and we love you for being so honest. And at least there's some sort of justice, don't you think, sir?
Yes, I do. I actually, and I know Maria did also, we felt a little bit sorry for her yesterday because she was taken out of the courtroom and handcuffs. Not that we didn't feel that she deserved it, but it's hard to watch that. And somebody said this yesterday in the courtroom. She didn't intentionally kill somebody or destroy Maria's life, but she sort of did when she decided to go to a bar with her baby and drink for 3 hours.
Yes,
I think Maria has a big heart, and I think that she handled it really well. I'm very proud of her.
Tell her we love her, brother. Anything you need. Thanks, my man.
All right. Thanks so much, Marty. Take care. Bye.
Pirate Baseball's next. From the PJ Fitzpatrick Home Improvement Traffic Center, Ellen Gamble, what's up?
All right, Marty, what's up is we have some heavy traffic in a couple of spots out there. Parkway West is playing that fluctuation game. We're now backing again at the top of Green Tree Hill, headed for the Fort Pitt tunnels. Traffic lights await you. That's it. So not too tough of a delay for you behind the Liberty tunnels on 51 and 19. Parkway East inbound is at Edgewood Swissvale. Just a reminder, sometime between now and 2 p.m. and then again tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., steel beam delivery will happen for the Commercial Street Bridge project just east of the Squirrel Hill tunnels. When those loads of steel